Yeah.
Oh, the challenge.
So no, I wasn't gonna ring the bell. Not only because I would say that they had another guy on my team that was this much faster than me, and everywhere. I was second place. Yeah, on my team. So I was
Alright, try this on for size.
I was so tempted to just one day go pick up. 2 days, all night. You just can't beat.
They worked.
Yeah. Which conversely is actually a track coach. Which a lot of people say the reason he's probably faster than me, he had perfect form.
Oh, right.
That was also
Okay. I haven't seen those.
the coach is like, keep your focus.
Yeah, see, these are all sparkling, right? But not, there's not a lot of
Yeah,
carbonation.
But no,
Rum of the juju.
These are my favorite ones that
My
I've tried
cardio
so
is
far,
hitting a heavy
and
bag.
most of the reason is
Yo.
because some of the ones where I was
Toby.
had some really
I forgot to tell you, your seat's right here. You see how that is? Dang, I ain't got me a seat. This is bullshit.
These are just 100%.
Yeah, we're about to get kicked off. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of crowd tonight. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, it started with one in particular, I can't remember.
Nobody here would.
I can control the phone. I can control the tablet and my phone.
Oh, it was,
Full business.
it also had like
Yeah, trying to go to sleep.
in it too. So there was just a lot going on.
That's what you do. Do your job.
Yep.
I don't know.
Alright, so
Because it tasted really strange, and I just wasn't a big fan, and I was sitting here at the bar like one night, and I just looked it around and looked at the ingredients, see what was in it.
That was the
Certain
big
read
one.
that,
Oh, man,
and I was
the clock's so
like,
far.
I think I'm good on that.
But, I
Try that
mean,
on for size, and tell me if that's
looks like there's not a whole bunch of people.
yeah, I was thinking, do I want to get crowd reaction?
I
Or just
mean,
try to get a second angle?
you know, on God's promise, I don't know. You know, 'cause, I mean, there's a lot of people out there, but most of them's daddies is glass makers.
Glass
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Monday night, and it is comedy night here at the Fox's Lair. The Fox's Lair has never been open on a Monday night until we asked her. Me and all the other voices inside my head asked them if they would open up on Monday nights for comedy night, and then that way everybody know whenever they came down here on Monday nights, it was for comedy. And I'm glad that all of y'all came out tonight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Tonight we have Candace behind the bar as always, and she is here to help you with anything that might be able to lift your spirits, so to say. Wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? You mofos and mofettes are privy to the night of September 15th here at the Fox's Lair for the Joust Comedy Calamity, which is going down now. You know what I'm saying? I am Heavy Bones Jones, aka Woody Wood, if you ask him real nice, aka The Judge, aka they call me the most chill like honey on toast, and I'm here to tell you that we are sponsored by Quest Sound and Productions, Art of Bell Aim Photography, and LeGray Productions, Anthony, our videographer that's on staff this evening. Booyah Kasha. If you would like to get your set from Anthony, you go up to him after the show and you say, hey, could you send me my shit? And he'll be like, for compensation, I don't work for free in this motherfucker. And then he'll bring down the thunder. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. No, I'm just kidding. Anthony's real nice and approachable. All that's sponsors. Yes, I wrote that. I have to write stuff down so I can remember, just so y'all know about life. What we got here is a open mic competition. Each week we get different winner to come up. Hold on. Each week you get 4 or 5 comics come up here. They do 7 minutes on the premise that I put out on the website every Monday or Tuesday. And then they do 7 minutes. They touch on the premise or they try to beat around it. You know what I'm saying? They do all the stuff to the premise. It keeps our minds, writing and thinking of new stuff to talk about, keeping it fresh. That's why this is a joke lab. At the end of it, all the judges will add up their totals and they will, where's Toby at?
Behind
He leaves? Oh, you sit down over here, damn it. Damn it, son. Sit down in front of these people. Fuck me. And then the top person comes back for the 6-week shootout on the 7th week, and they get a chance for whoever wins that night. They get a chance for $200 and a professional photo session with a professional photographer. One of the professionals. I know, right? I got, excited. Let's see. I think that's about it on this. Oh yeah, and then all of the winners from the 6-week shootouts will come back at year's end to compete for the Jest, Joust, King or Queen, and $1,000 that I have no idea where I'm gonna get from yet, but we'll figure that out whenever we're here. Oh yeah, and let's see. Oh wait, there was more I had to tell you. Hold on. I know this is an exciting start to the show. Okay, I got the judges. That's right. We got, as always, Mr. Uncle Daddy Doug over here on the end. Yeah. Tonight we got the always funny Sarah Crow flying in here. You know what I'm saying? As the crow flies. And we got Toby Taylor is our closer tonight. Give him some love. He's coming in from the A-Town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all like comedy? Y'all like stand-up comedy? Everybody been to comedy shows before? That's in here? All right. Hell yeah.
What's the premise?
Yeah.
The premise? Motherfucking shit, I don't know. I ain't looked on the website in a long time, cuz, since like 1 week ago or something.
Right.
Well, if anybody want to look on happybonesjones.com and see what the damn premise is, and then I know too, shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, my uncle is a glass maker, so I got cousins I ain't never seen before. Me and Sarah Crow, we've become tight friends over the years, and now we're sober together, whereas before we were very drunk together, and we did wild stuff, kind of like movie stuff, like you'd see on movies. You remember that scene on Lost Boys where they was hanging off the bottom of the train trestle and they was like, let go, David, or whatever the fuck his name was, and then he let go and then he landed in his bed? That's the kind of nights that Sarah and I had back in the drinking days, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, we be talking about those days like, damn, can you believe we survived that shit? But yeah, it's cool whenever you become friends with a crow because they always remember your face. They will follow you around the city. They pop up different places where you at unexpectedly. They always bring you little shiny things, you know what I'm saying? You get to feed them in the mornings. So these days I've been having this issue with me. It's been all week long, dog. I mean, it was there last Monday. I touched on it. And what it is whenever I'm in the shower, there's this spider in there. It's a good sized spider. It's a big, like an inch or two spider. And it's up in the corner. It's been in the same little 6-inch area, just circling around every time I'm in there. I'm in the shower. And so I figured it out that I was dealing with a peeping Tom. And so I started doing little dances for him, little poses, so that it would be worth his while. Because I don't want, I was flattered. Somebody wants some of that Happy Bones. I've been thinking about songs lately, and I was thinking that it'd be funny to make a song about you being a really, really good lover and like leading all the way up to reasons why you're such a good lover, and then the chorus be something like 36 seconds, girl, that's all I need, yeah. 36 seconds, all that sweet love is, trying to think, like, trying to act like that's a long fucking time. Like, can you believe that? You ain't never had no loving like this, you know? No. I was thinking about another song that might be funny. We'll see. Where, you know, you make fun of white folks and how they treat their animals, you know? They basically treat their animals like they part of the family, sometimes better than other humans, you know? And because I had walked into this dude who lived on Miami Beach. I brought his dog to him because I used to transport dogs for a living. Brought his dog to him, and this motherfucker had a 72-ounce porterhouse steak cooking on the grill for the dog's welcome home. It was a $120 cut of beef. I was like, oh man, that's how white people do it. But basically, I was thinking it would be funny if I had a song about white people loving their animals so much, and then it builds up to all the reasons why, and then at the chorus it'd be like, because dogs are people too, oh dogs are people too, dogs are people too, let them up on the couch with you, you know, something like that. No? Alright, I'm back to the drawing board. So the other day, I went and got, you know, when you go in the morning, you're heading to work, you know what I'm saying, and I don't know what they do visually, some kind of psychological mumbo jumbo, but I don't try to walk into the gas stations. I try to be more like Raven, where she'd be like, I just got a gas pump and I got my gas and then I got the fuck out of there. And I'm like, okay, I won't be like you, because I mean, that sounds boss. That sounds like a cool move. And then I'll be cool and stuff. I ain't gonna smoke at the motherfucking gas pump or nothing like that, but I'll be cool. And so the other day I walked into a Parker's because I was like, I don't know, it looks interesting in there, kind of like a circus. I want to go in there. It looks like fun. And it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's having fun in there. Nobody's having a good time. It's fluorescent lights everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, oh, it's too bright in here, right? And then you look over at the little hot pocket thing or whatever, and it's got the biscuits in it. And the biscuits, they look so good. You're like, oh man. I remember I had a biscuit from a gas station like a while back and it wasn't good. And I was like, I'm never gonna waste my money on that biscuit again because I know it's not good, right? But then this particular day, I'm like, well, I think, you know, today at Parker's, things might be different. I never got a biscuit from Parker's before. It can't be like all the other biscuits from all the other gas stations. And whenever I bit into it in the car, I was like, ooh, something's off with this. Something's not right with this. So usually I would just shut the fuck up and eat it and go about my business. But today, I don't know why, I thought maybe I'd go in here, Parker's might be different than all the other gas stations in the South. Maybe they have a northern type mentality or sensitivity. I don't fucking know what I was thinking. So I walk in there and I tell the lady, I was like, ma'am, this biscuit kind of tastes off. And she's like, no shit, you bought breakfast in a gas station. And I thought for a second that I might be in the Twilight Zone, or maybe she didn't work there and I got the wrong lady. She's standing behind the counter, and so I was like, well, is there something we can do about it? And she's like, usually people just shut the fuck up and eat it anyway. And I was like, fuck, that's exactly what I was thinking I should do. How does this lady know this? And then I figured out that it's all a simulation. It's all part of the simulation, man. And I enjoy being entertained in this way. I made it all this way, but I didn't know it. I forgot it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a surprise at first. But then I remembered, oh yeah, this is how I programmed the simulation to be. Fucking holding stomach and shit. Y'all have dreams? Yeah. Well, today, I thought I was in a meditative state, but I fell asleep. I rarely do that when I'm meditating. And then I had a dream where the star, I don't know, it might not have been a dream. It might have been real. Maybe I was dimensionally fucking traveling or some shit. You don't know how my life is on a ray of sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Faster than the speed of light, tachyon! And what I saw was a star. Right? But I was inside a cathedral, and I was like, how am I seeing that star right there? There's a roof. And then the star started getting really, really bright, and it started shooting, and it got bigger and bigger, and then it came into the top of the fucking cathedral, and it was a huge giant, and he looked at me, and he stomped his foot, and it sounded like the craziest, largest, like, train crash. I don't fucking know. A cosmic train crash. I don't fucking know. Maybe a tornado. I don't know. Tearing up a cosmic city of trains. I don't know. But it was really, really big and loud, and it woke me up, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about that giant since that happened. Y'all ever have that happen? No? I can dig that. I can dig that. Yeah. So, Raven and I, learning each other, relearning each other, every day is new, you know what I'm saying? And so, there's only one thing you really got to know about me, and she's finally learned what it is. And I'm going to ask her right now if she would tell y'all the answer to this question. Raven, what's the one thing that I do not put up with? Bull mess. That's right. I do not put up with bull mess. Although I tolerate it really well, you know, so it's kind of a not true statement. But I think it's funny to say. And then whenever I scream it out, I'll be like, God damn it, Raven, what's the one thing I don't put up with? And she's like, bull mess, from the other room. And I'll be like, hell yeah. And there's nobody around. It's just for me. It's just for me. And it's just like when we're sitting there watching TV or some shit. And the guy on the TV will say, man, can you believe that? He burned down my house. And then I'll look at Raven and I'll be like, oh man, that motherfucker burned down that dude's house. And she'd be like, yeah. And this is how our life is, right? Now, some people would be like, I'm with an insane dude that should be in an insane asylum. He's definitely on the spectrum. Something's wrong with him type shit. But she puts up with it like it's normal life, you know? And that's why I asked her to marry me, because ain't nobody ever acted like it was normal what I do, you know what I'm saying? It's true. You know what I did? We got 2 pear trees out in my backyard, right? And it produces 1,200,000 pears in the season. And so I got this bright idea. I'm gonna put a fucking table down at the corner where the main road is with canopy over the top of it. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of pears on the table. I'm gonna put a sign up there that says 10 pears for $5. Honor system, right? Then I put a little sheet up there with my QR codes and my PayPal, my Venmo, and my Cash App. And then it quickly faded away because, you know, morning dew, dumbass. But I did put a lockbox up there where it's got a slot people could put money in. And do you know that I'll go down there and money's in there? And people would take, like I done made like $65 or $70 so far. And people just being honest. Now, I've let the pears since then sit up there too long, and most of the pears sitting on the table are rotted, and I need to go up there and clear them out. So not very good customer service comes along with this type of idea. But on the day when I did it, I thought it was genius. It was genius. Even whenever I was doing it, I was putting it up. People would stop and be like, how much are the pears, you know? But I had another genius idea. I could dehydrate them pears, right? I could make fruit leather out of them pears, and it would last forever. And then I would package those fruit leather packages in packages that I get from Amazon, and I put a crazy design on there. I call them Happy Bones fucking Fruit Loops or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Fruit leather. And then on top of that, what I can do is I can make pear pies. Now, one of my favorite pies is apple pies, and I'm thinking that maybe pear pies taste similar to apple pies. I don't know. Do you think that apple pies and pear pies would taste similar? You think? I gotta put some apple seasoning in it. Okay, so I'm just ranting, basically, because there ain't nobody fucking here, and this is my show, and I can do what the fuck I want. So that's good, because otherwise, somebody might be like, that motherfucker, I don't know what he's a hogging fucking mother, goddamn shit, start the show, goddamn, start the show. Well, we do have one comedian that wants to come up. Nate, do you know what the premise is?
It's like childhood memories.
Yeah.
Childhood memories.
You know what? That's cool. I have some of those. I was talking about one just upstairs, and one of them is very traumatizing. Now that I think about it, that's crazy. Okay, maybe I did know subconsciously what the premise was, and I didn't realize it, but my frontal lobe didn't anyway. So what happened is my mama had taken me and my sister to this new babysitter. I ain't never seen this bitch before in my life. She looked kind of like Chewbacca, but fat, and. And then she would smoke cigarettes until like the ash was like 2.5 inches long. I don't know how she did it. She was the devil. And then on top of that, she would always say this phrase, like, never when my mom's around, right? But when like dark clouds are rolling in on a storm or something, she'd be like, something wicked, that's why it comes. And I was always like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who talks like that? You're freaking me out. And it was always dark at her house. All the other houses on the fucking street had grass, and she, for some reason, only had dirt, that type of dirt that's like really like silty, like it came from the bottom of a fucking creek bed or something. And if you step on it, it makes a poof cloud, you know, like you on the moon or some shit. I don't know what it was. And then on top of that, she had these 2 little dogs. They were Cocker Spaniels, and they wanted to eat me all the time. But for some reason, when the adults was around, they acted like they was just chilling, sleeping, all that. But the minute the adult, and then she made us stay out back. We had to stay out back all day long. But right whenever Mom was about to come pick us up, she would bring us in the house and wipe us down so that we didn't have all that moon dust on our asses, right? And so the dogs start barking at me and growling at me whenever the adults ain't around. And I'm like, this is some bullshit. It was scary. And then I remembered what her name was. Today I remembered what her name was. Check this out. It was Miss Deadman. Yeah. And I would tell my mama all the time. I'd be like, Mama, she ain't leave. Oh, she would tell Mom that we was inside all day and we got a bologna sandwich for lunch and this and that. And we didn't get nothing for lunch and we was not inside all day. Mama, she a lying to you. She a dead-faced lie to you. I think that you should fire her and we should never go there again. And she's like, she would not do that to y'all. I don't know why you lie. You always make up stories. And I'm like, God damn it. And to this day, I have an issue with somebody calling me a liar. Whoo! In the early days when I was drinking, you call me a liar and you serious about it? I might go to Miss Deadman's house and catch her house on fire and it'll be your fault. But nowadays I just try to be like, water off a duck's back. I'm sounding like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And then I pretend like I'm smelling patchouli on Raven, my hot girlfriend, while we're at like some desert rave where there's all nothing but good people, you know what I'm saying? Like really good vibe people, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's wanting to do no harm to nobody, right? And we're just vibing, having a good time, you know, we're dancing, you know what I'm saying? The lights are flashing, and you're like, how the fuck did they get lights out in the desert? Like that, you know? And then you realize it's not lights, man. It's aliens, bro, and they're in orbs. They're all different colors of the rainbow, and they're like shooting around outside because they love raves too. Y'all didn't know that about aliens, did you? No. It's true. This week, I've got some of my artwork up here. It's available, and you can have a piece, you know, and honestly, I have sold them in the past for $10 a piece, but these were in my garage for a long, long time. So I just let you get them for whatever you think is worth it. You donate the money straight to Raven's hand bones. Carpal tunnels. I mean, metacarpals phalanges. Wait, that's feet. Never mind. So, this week, oh boy, do we have a treat for you tonight. We are going to be playing some games with this fool, and he doesn't even know it yet. Basically, Nate's going to come up right now and stand beside me. Where's he at? I don't see him. See, I got special glasses on tonight, and this is what's crazy is I can see normal and when I'm looking straight in front of me, right? But right out of my peripherals, it has a different frequency vibe going on. It's like a blue tint. I'm not sure what to call it, but I can see demons. There's a lot of them in the rooms. There's a lot of them in all the rooms, and they're always around. And, you know, if I told you how many demons there were just walking around a random, like outside, you think demons are just in your house or where vibes are at? No, demons are all over the place. They be looking for you. One of them is called Impenetrable. And I was like, that's a weird name for a demon. But demons have names that are equated with what their ability is. So I was like, oh, he's impenetrable. I'm not getting near him. But that's what these glasses do. Now, sometimes, if you're lucky and you're at an Applebee's sitting at the bar and you turn your head with these on, you can see humans that are possessed by demons. And it's freaky when it happens because you can see their mouths start to open and it just like keeps on opening. I'm like, oh my God, how do you? Oh, you got a demon in you. And then what you do is the trick. This is the trick. You walk up and you whisper in their ear, real soft. Jesus fucked your mama. And the demon flies out of him every time, dude. It's an exorcism. I don't know what. It's a gift that I have. You know, I don't know if it worked for y'all, but if you want to wear the glasses to see, you can't. You can't. Only only I can see. All right, bitches. I swear from goodness. See, this is what Raven lives with every day. See, y'all think that this is just like an act or something. No, this is normal life bones, okay? Now, where the fuck is Nate? Why ain't he standing beside me? Christ on a cracker. All right, hold the microphone, Nate. Whisper in your ear. Hold the microphone.
Happy just admitted that he's going through a psychotic break right now. So he wanted me to let you know.
Oh, God.
Tell him.
I feel like you should say pears. You don't think pears?
No,
You have a pear tree in your backyard?
that's not funny.
Hold on, wait. All right, everybody, put your hands together for Mr. Nathan.
So, I used to think I was a sociopath as a kid because I just didn't really get sad when people were sad next to me or crying or anything like that. So I looked into it, and turns out I'm probably just autistic. There's actually a lot of overlap between the two. Both of them don't really understand emotions and really connect with people. But the difference for me was if people don't laugh at like a joke, I don't want to kill them. I mostly just want to kill myself. It's kind of it for me. Happy actually is the one that made me realize that I was autistic. It made me see the light. I feel like it all went downhill for me during one particular moment in my life. I don't know if anybody here can relate. It was when I was circumcised. It's rough. I feel like it's just a weird like surgery. I actually went down a little bit of a rabbit hole when I was looking into anti-circumcision movement, and there are guys out there that are trying to stretch their foreskin over, the hood, which is like, it's a noble effort, but I mean, when you watch a video, and I have watched quite a few of these videos, it's like you're trying to stretch a baby blanket over like a queen-size bed. It's kind of sad and a bit disturbing to watch, but they're on the forefront of the movement. They're the innovators. They stretch so that one day we can jack off without lotion. We can feel something. It was kind of rough from then on, but I did have a small peak when I was in 5th grade, really all of elementary school. My teachers called me gifted because I didn't piss my pants during recess in kindergarten. So that was kind of a highlight. They were excited for me, excited for my future. But when I was in 5th grade, that's when I was the king. King of the school. It was awesome. I was winning awards. I was teachers were talking at the front of the class, and I was whispering in the back, and then I was snickering. They got insecure about it. It was awesome. But I was winning awards. I won an award called the Citizenship Award, which I still don't really understand what that was, but I still have it in my glove compartment in case ICE pulls me over. And I got my papers. But I was hyped. My parents were hyped, you know. I was a good little anchor baby for them. My grandparents were also there at the time. My grandpa was, you know, the sweetest, most caring guy that I've ever met. He sees it, you know. I had George W. Bush's signature on it even at the time. And it was like 2007 or something. And my grandpa took the piece of paper, took the certificate, took it to my sister who was like 6 at the time. And he goes, "You see this? You will never get this. This is impossible for you to achieve." And then in typical elderly fashion, he went upstairs to take a nap. And we're all just aghast. You know, my sister's crying. My mom's looking up therapists in the area. My dad's playing online chess. You know, it's just kind of, we're all hitting our coping mechanisms. And 2 hours later, he comes back down, and we're like, "What? Why did you say that?" And he goes, "Oh, I just meant she's not gonna have George W. Bush sign it. It's gonna be that black guy." But, you know, well, he was elderly. He was elderly, so you gotta forgive him for that. Yeah, it was. It's. I mean, it's just very vague. You know, Indians are just very vague. I grew up in a brown household. It was just the color. The fact that we got the color brown is the fucking ugliest color ever. It's so shitty. Black is like the coolest color. You know, it's full of like mystique. You don't really know. You know, it's dark. You don't really know what's going on. You know, it's might be stumbling into things. White. You know, we all learn that white is right. You know, so that's there's that. You know, they also got some perks. You know, the white. Yellow. I feel like they got stuck with yellow because white's taken. But you know, yellow kind of reminds me of jaundice, but it's also the color of the sun. You know, it's the color of energy, life on Earth. Brown. You know, I painted the bowl today at the toilet, and I looked down. I was like, yeah, that's me. That's brown. So I feel like, you know, I'm taking a stand. I feel like, you know, and Indians, Mexicans, you know, we all get lumped in brown. Let the Mexicans be brown. You know, I feel like we should be called mahogany. You know, nice color. It's wise. Got some character. You know, and imagine going up to your homies, being like, "Yo, what up, my mahogany?" You know, gotta have perfect pronunciation for that. To practice. But yeah, Indians very vague. They love to haggle. My dad fucking loves haggling, and my dad's definition of haggling is, you know, buying a pair of jeans of which he has like 2, and you know, looking the cashier in the eye when she tells him about the 30-day return policy, and then showing up 5 years later trying to return this pair of jeans that tore. And then, you know, they're like, "No, sir, we can't actually accept these." Like, what? Why would you say that? That's it. Thank you. It's my time.
Hell yeah! Y'all give it up for Nedra one more time. Hold on, give me a.
All right, so what you were talking about, you had whenever you were a kid, emotional, like you didn't gauge emotions the way other people did. That's called the Spock syndrome. Spock syndrome. Yeah.
I'll look that up.
Yeah. It was.
Hey, Kennedy.
I knew that was a thing back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Watching that. Autistic. That's good. Now, understanding your emotion, but then keeping viruses at your house. I remember you made that joke in the beginning. And that joke, I felt like would go good with if you kind of melded that in, like with it, you know, like after you were talking about your emotional, like, I don't feel emotions like other people. And whenever I was a kid, you know, that's why I kept the whatever virus, just in case I wanted to off a bunch of people and I'd have no fucking feelings around it or whatever. That kind of popped in my head. Circumcision is wrong. That is correct. Funny thing about reconstituting your foreskin, that's what they call it, reconstituting the foreskin, is I had a friend that started to date a chick that was like one of those anti-circumcising chicks, to the point where she would just rail against it, you know what I'm saying? She would also like bleed freely with her period blood onto the earth because it was what you were supposed to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she convinced him, because you know how sometimes you have a guy who loves a girl so much that she can brainwash him, and she did that with him, and then he hung like weights off of his skin to re-stretch it or over his, and I was like, now is that going to bring your sensitivity back too? And he's like, no, but I was like, well, so it's just superficial. Is this what you tell him? And so the whole thing just blew apart for me like a lead balloon. I was like, y'all are all fucking wacky out of your mind. Those are those same people that say, I eat vegan only, blah, 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 blah. And then at the same time, they'll do a snort of ecstasy off of a toilet seat in a really dive bar. Like, I don't know if you got your priorities straight, but that's okay. The nerve of them cutting off people's foreskins. You still got yours? No? See, I'm pissed about it too. And whenever I found out, you know, I'm a real sexual person. I really like sex. And so I found out that if people that are uncut, they supposedly have more, you know, nerve endings where they cut ours off. And I'm like, you motherfuckers. I went to my mom. I was like, what's the fuck's the deal with this bullshit? You just let them do this to me? Like, you just let them take your baby and chop some of his dick off? That's not weird to you? And mom's like, it helps for cleanliness. You don't want an infected penis. And I was like, I bet that's a fucking 100% dead ass lie, you bitch. And it was. It was. I didn't switch my mic with you, so I hope that you didn't bring any virus in on your lips. You know, kind of like in Game of Thrones, that chick kisses a little girl, and then she has the antidote, but the little girl doesn't. And so when the little girl's on the boat, she starts to nosebleed and dies, and then old boy's like, oh no! And then, you don't remember that? What's an anchor baby? Is that for somebody that's an immigration person, but they don't really have their immigration papers per se? It's like a one they just printed up off of the internet, and then they have a baby, and since the baby was born in America, you could stay in America, and they could stay in America too?
That's exactly what it is.
Whoa, I came up with all that from Anchor Baby. That's pretty cool. I never heard that before. Are you an Anchor Baby?
I'm not. No.
Well, don't say it here. We're filming. I'll tell them to cut it.
I do want to make that clear. I'm not.
What's your coping mechanism? Because you mentioned everybody else went to their coping mechanism, but you didn't say what you did.
That's true.
Weird.
Yeah,
What?
I smoke a lot.
That's bull. Oh, wait, you have smoked with me, huh?
I gotta stop. Actually,
We'll cut that out. When you gotta stop?
I gotta stop. Today's my first day off.
Why don't it be tomorrow and I can smoke with you after the show?
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow could be the first day. It's always the best day to start. Everybody knows that. Everybody that doesn't procrastinate, they get things done right then. They all know that tomorrow's the best day to start. On God's promise. On God's mom and daddy. On the dark of light of yin and yang. Okay, cool.
I'm down.
So then you have a brown house and you didn't like it. Why don't you just ask your parents if you have to change the motif of the house, like so whiter or violet, you know, one of those higher vibrating colors?
People in India are actually bleaching their skin.
Shut up.
White. Yeah, it's like there's commercials and shit for it.
You better stop lying to me. Why is desert people weird, man? Fucking desert people.
We're jungle people, actually.
One time I was in the desert and I went to go pull off on the side of the road to find somewhere to sleep in the desert. And I pulled up on this dude that was asleep in a sleeping bag just randomly in the desert. And I was like, how in the fuck am I about to run this dude over? And I got all this desert. And he laid right where I'm about to drive over. Right? It was terrible. I slammed on the brakes. He didn't die. He was mahogany too. What you think about this man, Toby Taylor? You got a Mickey phone right there, straight up on God.
I thought you were really funny. Yeah, I thought you were great.
Oh yeah, you did bring a whole bunch of new stuff. That was cool in the motherfucker too.
Kid. I don't know what to say. I think you
Just come from the heart.
I really like the circumcision thing. And then whenever you said, like, I jumped down the rabbit hole after that, I feel like there's definitely some sort of pun. You know what I mean? That, like, you can add in there, like, there's definitely something that you can throw in there that is gonna.
Yeah, like I jumped down the rabbit hole on that, and it wasn't nearly as sensitive as I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude, honestly, and like what you said when you were like, it's more sensitive. Dude, if the tip of my dick was any more sensitive, I'd come in like 10 seconds. I'm like, there's no way that I would ever want to not be circumcised.
Anyway.
See, that's why they circumcised you, because if you were uncut, you would see God whenever that happened.
Ooh.
They don't want you to see that.
It was a Jewish thing. All right, well, now we're getting to the bottom of it.
Ouch!
Now we're getting to the bottom of it.
That's the ouch.
I thought you did great, man. Hell yeah. I'm not guilty.
Bonsai!
Appreciate it.
Okay, what'd you think, Sarah Crow, for this young man, this brown young man, this God's creature? Allah's creature? I mean, I don't fucking know shit. I'm stupid. Probably going to jail soon. Word jail.
Again.
Again.
You were worried about not having feelings when you were a child?
That's true. That's true.
Your mama ain't give it a titty enough.
I would just look at somebody straight in the eye instead of cry. I would just pee. No matter what I was doing, just pee.
If I was your daddy, I'd have been like, "What? Why don't we use our words? I don't know what's."
He's probably the reason why I peed.
Oh shit.
I think stretching your foreskin over a child's blanket over a queen size mattress, that's a little bit generous, statistically. I think a queen size mattress in reference to penis size is generous. I once went to a lesbian party in Jacksonville, Florida, and I was trapped inside of a bathroom with 4 other women because one girl had got her hood pierced. And then she wanted to show us, and of course, it was the early 2000s, no one had ever seen anything like that. So we were like, okay, let's look at this. And it's one of my 7 concussions because I was so mortified that I turned around and hit my forehead on the doorknob and knocked myself out. I still have my foreskin.
I just pierced a girl's hood like a couple months ago in the back of the truck.
Oh, you pierce people?
What kind of truck?
Oh, wait,
A
in the
Ford
back of the truck? No,
F-150.
you don't pierce.
Of course it was a Ford.
She was like, Alabama, bitch. I was like, we're in Georgia.
Alabama, Arkansas. I still have my foreskin.
Hell yeah.
He doesn't miss it. I thought you were great. I thought you were so great that I wish there was like 11 other people here laughing.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge the new stuff that I did tonight because, like, Candace laughs at a lot of stuff. And
Candace she's so supportive.
I need someone to give me a gauge on it.
But it's great. It's just we're just talking to each other at this point. I thought you did great. I have a feeling you might win.
Hey, what we need is 38 Candaces. Yeah.
I did write an entire comedy set while I was sitting here listening to you, so that's great.
Yeah, good job on that. What'd you think, Douglas P. James, Uncle Daddy Doug, on the TV?
I thought it was good, man. Great job. Good delivery, great creativity. You hit on topic. You hit on points, man. Great job. I enjoyed it.
Hells yeah. Hells yeah. Well, I think that's it, motherfucker. Get out of here. Y'all give it up for Nerd Mohammed. Uh-oh, I just switched lives with him. Y'all ever heard that old conspiracy? Well, I don't know. It might be like what do you call it? A wives' tale? I don't know if wives' tales are necessarily conspiracy theories, but when you rub elbows with somebody, you can actually transfer your reality to their reality, so you can quantumly jump through your elbows. I don't know if you ever heard that before. What, y'all never heard that before? Shit's real, son. Did y'all know they rebooted that old 80s show, Quantum Leap?
What the fuck?
Yep, and it's got a, I don't know if they call them mixed races, mulatto, and other races, like if you're Indian and part Filipino, would you be a mulatto? That might be a stupid question, but this dude's like half, English and half like Chinese looking, right? And I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch this. It's gonna be the shit, because in the 80s, Quantum Leap was the boss shit. And I realize now that it's actually scientifically, they do this shit. So watching it now is way, way different, because these motherfuckers put all the signs in there about, y'all know about the Lumen? I'm not supposed to say that on the internet. Y'all know about them people? The elites. right? The ones that be sitting up in their penthouse and they make decisions about the world type shit, right? That's the way it was. That's the way it was in the Matrix. The moon was a projector. The pupils of our eyes was a projector, and our brains told our eyes what to see. That's the reality we used to live in the 80s. That's why we love neon colors so much. Yeah, y'all didn't know that. So tonight I have a lot of my we got no more comics? Because I can't see a thing. So if there's any more comics in here, you can't just raise your hand. You have to say, I'd like to do it.
I'd like to do it.
Yeah, you do it, girl.
Hell yeah, come on, Miss
Yes.
I mean, what other choice do you have at this point?
C-R-O in the U. Wait.
By the way, Nathan, I'm not in the running. I've won before, but let's see if I can just at least make you laugh and make it worth it for coming.
S-C-R-O in the U. S-C-R-O in the USA. Hey, hey.
Okay, it took you
Sarah in the USA. Everybody put your hands together for my friend Sarah Crow.
Howdy, 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 howdy.
You did that.
Woody said that he saw demons at the Applebee's and they were just opening up their mouths really wide, which makes complete sense because that salad bar is so fucking good. But you know that salad bar is probably fucking nasty. So today's premise, which I just looked at, was childhood memories. So that's all we'll talk about. I'll stay on premise. I'm gonna sit down because it's gonna be more of a story time. When you get inducted into the Military Hall of Fame and they recruit you right out of your poopy stained underwear right out of high school, you are still a child. So I'm gonna talk about the time that I was very, 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 very afraid. Probably one of the most times I was the most afraid in my entire life. So when I was 19 years old and I was past the point of going to basic training, they send you off to your school, right, where you learn like how to do your job, which is all like kill the enemy, blah blah blah. So I'm at the school in Arizona with my 19-year-old self with a top secret clearance, and I've got to march off to the schoolhouse every morning, which is like 3 miles away, you know, and you go to formation and they mandatorily make you drink like 2 canteens of water, which is probably horribly dangerous, and they make you march 3 miles up to this schoolhouse or whatever to go get your learning on. And your roommate is just somebody that they've put you with, right? So my roommate was a 6'2" tall black woman. When I was 19, she was 32 years old, and her name was Michelle Frazier. And right next to her bed, there was a picture of her with Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain holding their baby, Frances Bean Cobain. This woman was this baby's nanny. And I thought that was pretty cool. I thought she was okay. I knew that she was getting kicked out of the military either from a bad hip, but I kind of had the suspicion that it was because she was batshit crazy, because she would wake me up in the middle of the night staring over me. And then she would whisper and say, "I'm going to eat you." This actually happened. And then I'm so terrified of her, and I don't want to get in trouble because I think this is during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I think she pretty much knows that I'm banging the girl across the hall, even though I don't do it in that room because I'm scared of her, right? But she starts sneaking in these boys, and it's very wet, and it's very loud sounding, and it's very terrifying. And then she says, "I won't eat you if you get me the toilet paper from the schoolhouse and you bring it back here." And I said, we've got toilet paper. She said, "No, the toilet paper at the schoolhouse tastes different." And I said, "Okay." And then I proceeded to just steal toilet paper every day. This woman had like 40 rolls of toilet paper under her bed, and it was like paying penance to like the toilet paper eating troll. And then she left the army finally, and I could breathe. And then I was the older roommate, and I was so nice to these girls, and we had an illegal hamster, and it was very peaceful after that. That was in the year 2000. The year of the Japanese tsunami was 2011, and my safe place was going to Nene and Grampy's house in Waverly, Tennessee, of which I would travel there, and sometimes I had a motorcycle a lot of that time, so I'd take a bus. My grandmother thought I was going to die the whole time. Cell phones weren't that great, whatever. But I would get there, and it was like a 9 or 10 hour journey, and then you do what you do at your safe place. You sit around in your fucking underwear and you watch TV with your Nene, with your Grammy, and you just, she puts me to work straight away. She hands me a bottle of Lemon Pledge and says, polish this fucking furniture. We're going to watch All My Children. And then, late afternoon, then it's The Price is Right? You've had a peaceful day, just like you did with your grandma when you're a little kid, even though I'm like 26, 27 years old by now. So she puts on The Price is Right. I'm just vibing. We're just having a good old time. The tsunami happens. I remember that. It was very vivid in my mind because I was worried about my ex-boyfriend who lived in Japan, whose foreskin that I in that jar. And I was like, I hope Christian's okay. I hope he doesn't miss his foreskin. Anyway, so I'm watching The Price is Right, and there on The Price is Right is Michelle Frazier, my roommate from the military. And then I peed myself. All right. Marriage is just yelling at each other from the other room and then mishearing what somebody else says. This morning I got into a lot of trouble because she said, "Are you going to do the dishes?" And I was like, "No, I don't got any bitches," And marriage is also just a really angry slumber party that you can never, ever leave. And somebody is mad and controls all of the activities that you're doing in your forever slumber party and watches basketball all day and will not let you watch the new episode of Alien Earth or you're in trouble. I had a Stand By Me moment this past week where we thought that there was a dead body downtown. And so my wife and I were walking the dogs next to an abandoned house and we smelled something really horrible. So I did, and I let it pass for a couple days because I've called the cops a lot in my life. Not on black people, except for one time, and that was justified. They were trying to break into my house at like 6 a.m. But I try not to call the cops, right? Or then I'll call the cops. Like the last time I called the cops in Old Town, so there's this record of me calling the cops, right? But it's not like a Karen thing where I'm like, okay, well, I'm being crazy. No, I called the cops because this guy was, I'm a treasure hunter, okay? I actually look for treasure, but this guy was using a metal detector in my yard with a shovel, and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I've got a metal detector." And I was like, "I see that. What are you doing? Why are you digging holes in my yard?" He's like, I've got a metal detector. I'm looking for stuff." And I was like, "You're not going to look for stuff in my yard." And he was like, "Why don't you try to stop me? This is owned by the city." I was like, "Why? Well, if it's part of the city's not mowing that yard. I'm mowing that yard. That's my yard. Please stop digging holes in my yard. I have to drive through my yard sometimes, please." So that was the last time I called the cops. So I was really, really worried about calling the cops this time because I thought maybe, they thought that I did it, that I killed the murder person in this abandoned thing. So I had to go talk to somebody. I'm like, "Hey, if I call the cops and if I say, 'Hey, I really think there is in this abandoned house, there's a murdered person,' or like immediately they're gonna be like, 'You did it. Like you just keep calling the cops on people. Maybe it's the guy that was metal detecting. I'm not sure.' Anyway, so I did the only logical thing. And I rounded up all the white girls. And I was like, "You want to go smell this house with me? I'm afraid to go smell this house alone." So we all went to go smell the house. And it was not a dead body. It was this guy. His name is the Mad Pooper. Okay? He lives in Old Town and he will straight up put dog poop on your car if you block the cobblestone sidewalk, because apparently that is public property even though it goes into your driveway. So like he'll just put He'll get bags of dog poop and put it on your car and write you a nice letter that says, "Don't block your driveway." This is a real thing. I've been trying to catch him on my Ring camera for 5 years. For 5 years. This is real. I can show you where he lives, but apparently already somebody tried to or threatened to kill him. But anyway, so I don't want to do that because then the cops are going to get involved, and I already think they got a record on me anyway. This is just something I do not want to be involved in. Anyway, he likes to put dog poop on your car. Except I sold Kennedy my other car, which was a Subaru Outback, and I'd never had a new car, so now I've got a new truck, and it took me 40 years to ever own something kind of new, but he drives a Jeep Gladiator, so I think he was like, oh, this is a nice truck, I'm not going to put this dog poop on this truck. Anyway, let's go back to the dead body. It was just cat food. There were a lot of maggots because the mad pooper, even though he's crazy and puts dog poop on your car, he does feed the neighborhood cats in Old Town and tries to neuter and TNR them. So you can't be that mad at him. But one time, my Ring camera finally did catch him, and I walked up to his house, and he's got a Ring camera, and I was like, hey, I know it's you, in his Ring camera, and then he's never pooped my car again. But when I get out of because he lives across the street from me, when I get out of the truck and I see him and he's walking his dog, and I just stand in him like this. Anyway, he was feeding all these cats around this abandoned house, and so because it's an abandoned house, they're not picking up the trash, and I just want to write him a nice note that says hey, thanks for feeding the cats, can you please pull the trash can to the curb so that the trash people will take it, because there's months of cat food cans in there, and anyway, I basically threw up in the middle of the street, so that's that. Oh. Do you feel like we just went through a mass PTSD event the past week? I feel like that's the reason why people aren't at comedy tonight. They don't feel like they can laugh. But I'm one of those people that's please don't say, want anybody to die, but I keep also being funny in my head. The song "Protect Your Neck" is still playing on constant in my head, and I know that might hurt your feelings, but I cope. I also have made 2 appointments with mental health doctors this week, so I can talk to somebody about that, which is kind of fucked up, right? Because I know that the VA, the hospital, the lady that she just came back from maternity leave, so she's got a newborn baby and she's seeing all this shit. The only thing that she's gonna fucking say to me is yeah, you're right, this fucking sucks. Usually a therapist can talk you down, but I'm no, I pretty much think that we're going towards a civil war, and one of the reasons I was in behavioral health anyway is because I'm hyper vigilant. I can't relax because I'm always preparing for the next bad thing to happen, and I think I'm on the verge to her coming to my house if something bad happens, because she knows that I'm super prepared. But that's a diagnosis, right? Paranoia is just fun thinking. You give somebody me weed, and I'm one of the people, I can't relax. I'm gonna clean your house, I'm gonna clean my house. I should probably clean the pooper's house because he's got a lot of cats. But anyway, so people like that, they prepare for everything, and at least my mental illness is somewhat, what's the word? What's the word? I'm
Look at me.
Useful? I don't know, but I just don't. And then I went to go get a drug test today, not because I'm on drugs, because I'm sober as a joke, unless you count my 5 milligrams of childhood Ritalin, right? But to get the Ritalin, I've got to get the drug test. So the real messages from my therapist is hey, I don't have a new drug test since April. I'm yeah, you're on vacation. I sent you a message in July, I said the drug test is due, and she's okay, well, you need to come in. I think they have to treat everyone like they're a drug addict, right? But I'm not, so I have all the balls in the world to just lay them out on the table. I'm I already fucking told you I need a drug test. Someone drug test me. So she was well, you need to come in for a drug test. I was be there Monday, bet. So I went and I took my drug test, and the lady that took my pee was we don't have an order. I was what's that mean? She was I just got a cup of pee. You just gave me a cup of free pee. I don't know what to do with it. There is no order saying that I require your pee. So now you got to go talk to them and be hey, you deposited your pee, right? but we need paperwork to verify that there's an order for the pee. And I was like, or what? She's like, or then we throw it away. I was like, well, if you throw it away, I guess I'll come back. But I don't know if I'll have to pee in a couple of days. I've got a mental health appointment. I guess I'll just hold it and then go either before or after that my newly unpregnant lady tells me that, yes, the world is ending and I'm coming to your house to steal all your ammunition and your carrots. But that's fine. But yeah, people think that there's a serial killer here in Augusta. How do you guys feel about that?
Because all the dead bodies are found?
Yeah.
I heard they found another dead body.
What the fuck is going on? Like, that's the stuff it's really upsetting to me because that's what I put on Netflix to go to sleep at night. But now I don't think it's going to be comforting if it's happening next door.
Yeah, but are they only killing homeless people?
That's fucked up. It's
Not
probably
homeless?
no, not yet.
You're safe.
Okay.
Just don't walk in parking lots late at night. I think that's a trend going on.
Oh, I never do that. And if I do, I've had at least 3 weapons on me. So also sniper.
Y'all talk about somebody.
Hey, everybody said they don't do that.
All right, real jokes though. Pornhub has now been banned in Georgia. It's geofenced, so that's why in South Carolina over the bridge when you go to Highlander, that's why there's so much traffic. It's because people are masturbating on the 13th Street Bridge. One more joke, and then this guy that's hopefully better than me will come up and tell you more funny things. I've recently been traveling a lot, and does anyone travel or with their spouse? Like, there's anybody travel with people that they love, that you're married with? Do you still want to still stay married to that person? Okay, because like there's a certain step that you get to in marriage, right? When you actually start traveling well together. Like, I remember Hannah and I, we went to Joshua Tree, California a couple years ago, but like, and that was when I was still drinking and like smoking weed or whatever. And now you know about my hypervigilance, okay? So I did not take a gun with me to California. However, I took like a wacky stick, I took like 4 pocket knives, a Bowie knife, like a taser, some mace, everything like that. And then what happens is something really, really great happens to me when I smoke weed. I organize everything, right? And so like we were sitting in an Airbnb and I knew that we were getting Instacart delivery because we got some groceries delivered. Well, that was enough to set me off. Like, that guy's gonna come fucking kill us. So she watches me go around the Airbnb and then hide every single fucking weapon. She's like, I think you need to chill out. And I was like, I think I do too. I had the like really strong legal weed. You know, when it's legal and you go over the West Coast and you smoke the fucking weed and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. Well, that's what happened there. But since being sober, we travel a lot better together. Like, I have control over the hypervigilance where I'm like, people like breathing down my neck doesn't really set me off as much. But I do not hang out in parking lots alone, especially when it's my job to protect my very tall wife that's way meaner than me. So I just don't know how I got stuck with that job. But like, I take it very, very fucking seriously, and it's a 24-hour-a-day job. But she's the type of person, part ginger, okay, that like, you're going down the airport wham jam, the thing that's like flat but you're moving. It's like an escalator but flat, and it's fun but she'll get really angry and super violent if you just go on it and stand on it. Right, it kind of makes sense because like a lot of times when you buy the cheapest ticket, it means like you're buying the cheapest ticket with the highest amount of stress. Right, you're paying to get like hopefully one or two layovers, and you're gonna get to wherever you're going in America within 10 hours. That's the goal, right? At a cheap thing. Well, I think people just fuck with you, and you're like, no, let's only give them 15 minutes to get to the other side of fucking Charlotte, you know, or else you are stuck there for another 12 hours. Well, we got stuck in Port Arthur, Texas, and it was either make our flight, which is literally 1.3 miles away, in 11.2 minutes, and you've got to run. We're like, we can make it. We can fucking make it. We can do this together. We're a team now. We travel well together. Let's fucking go. We're pumping each other up. So I had this idea that like maybe this is motivational because I was fucking motivated. I did not want to stay in Port Arthur, Texas with my gay wife and only barbecue and crazy fucking people for 12 more hours. Like, it was like me landing back in Augusta, till 3 p.m. or me landing back in Augusta until midnight. And the last time that happened, her suitcase wound up in West Africa. So I just don't want, and we're still trying to track that down, like filing those claims is like really crazy. But anyway, so this is motivational. So I was like, this is my pitch to Peloton. You're riding on a fucking bike. And then you have to go faster because your wife is either going to kill somebody or you're going to be stuck in Port Arthur, Texas for 12 hours if you don't make your gate. Because the fun thing about Port Arthur was that every single escalator was broken. It made it even harder. So it was like level up points when you're playing Peloton. Like you're going, you think you're going to make it, you got 4 minutes to get there. Fuck you, dude. You've got 3 suitcases to go up the stairs to another level, and then you gotta swing back around, get on the concourse, and go back down. That fucking elevator's broken too. No? They'd buy it. It's a good idea. Okay. I will leave you. Thank you for your time. Please do not eat the radioactive shrimp from South Carolina. Just like Spider-Man, you might get a superpower if you eat these radioactive shrimp. But the superpower is you are bulletproof, but you're only bulletproof at Dollar General.
Okay, that's good to be bulletproof from Dollar General at Dollar General. That's good because I'm sure that there's a lot of people packing at Dollar General. So, tonight for our closer, hopefully Sarah didn't go longer than he's planning on going. Stand up, what the fuck are you doing? You gonna do sit-down comedy? You can do sit-down comedy if you want to. Everybody give it up for Toby Taylor.
Hi, everybody. How long do I have?
25 minutes.
Oh yeah, let's do
How
this.
funny are you? Go on.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I guess we'll see, right? We'll see how long I get. This place is really cool. I'm from Pittsburgh. If you didn't know, if you can't tell by the accent, I'm from Pittsburgh. And this place is really cool, man. It's like somebody was like, "I'm gonna put a fucking bar in the basement," and then it really got here. I walked upstairs, it's like a scene of Goonies, dude. It was like, it's not really the type of place you want to go to the bathroom in. Like, why? They fucking dead things, dude. I heard the ghosts upstairs. It was crazy. Goodness, yeah. A little chuckle on that one. I don't play in a while, so like I wrote all this down like in a car. The only plan I've ever really cared about is playing B, and whether or not it worked. The second part's the most important, if you know anything. I've been spending a lot of time with kids, not because I'm a pervert. Don't worry, no one's gonna come in and be like, "You're here to meet a 15-year-old girl." He told me to come, I promise. But I've been spending a lot of time with kids, and I got nephews, and I work in a barber shop, so they're everywhere, and I don't understand how they go for so much on the black market. Like, they're little bastards. I'm like, dude, if I could find anyone in the world to buy any of you guys, I promise I would drop everything and move to Colombia. I'm like, my goodness. And I'm a big conspiracy theory guy, dude, and I was pretty sure that, like, Epstein didn't die. Have you been seeing the people in Hollywood? They're definitely not getting no more kids' blood, dude. They're all in those MPs. Goodness, we'll get some chuckles. We'll get there. All right, man. I'm a menace in a hospital. All right, like I had kidney stones not too long ago. When I get uncomfortable, I want to make people laugh. I want to make jokes about it because it calms me down. And so, like, I get in the hospital and I have kidney stones. The doctor goes, "I think you have a testicular torsion." That means your nuts are twisted. Okay, I don't do a lot, so for them to get twisted, I was dumbfounded. All right, I'm laying in a hospital bed. I wake up. I passed out. If you don't know, the pain's pretty nuts from kidney stones. I passed out. When I wake up, there's like 6 nurses and doctors around me, like it was an episode of Grey's Anatomy. Not a single one was a McDreamy. Let me tell you what. Okay, they're all around me. The doctor goes, "Hey, I have to check your." I open my legs like a virgin. I'm like, "Go ahead, doc. Go down there." He sticks his finger down there. He looks at the nurse and he goes, "We may need to go into immediate surgery." How small is it, doc? How bad are we talking? Look, I've had 28 years to think about this. I have some ideas if we're going into surgery. But yeah, I mean, they sent me an ultrasound. That was fun. You know, I was like, "Ma'am, can I have another blanket? It's freezing in here. That's why you can't find anything." She was married. She didn't think it was funny, but I thought it was great. I just get uncomfortable, you know, like, I go to the VA to get my blood, like every year, whatever it is, and those ladies can look you in the eyes and just slide the needle right inside your arm. Dude, it's crazy how good they can do it. They wrap that little crackhead band around it, you know, and just for old time's sake, you want to bite it, you know? And they look you in the eyes, slide the needle in. I'm like, man, how do you do that? Because I'm really struggling in these gas station bathrooms. All right, here we go. We're warming up. I'm Puerto Rican, not Italian. Everyone fucking thinks I'm Italian, man. Everyone thinks I'm Italian. My mom's Puerto Rican. My dad's white trash. I'm like 60% honky. That's basically how that works. Okay, there's a slur for you. I might ruffle some feathers with some of this stuff, and it's all satire, it's all jokes. If you have a problem, please talk to me. Don't shoot me in the neck. Yeah, there you go. Call back to that one. I actually live in Macon, Georgia now. I was supposed to move to Atlanta, but I didn't get the call back after the movie audition, so ended up in the shithole. All right, the place is a war zone, dude. Every weekend, just bang, 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 everywhere, dude. It's actually the crazy. I lived in Section 8 in Pittsburgh. Well, I lived across the street from Section 8 in Pittsburgh, and it's crazy because like all the whole time I was there was a lot of gunshots, but only one actual death. And a guy killed his girlfriend, his baby mama, because she banged his best friend, which is valid, I think. But I was always paranoid. In my neighborhood, I was like, man, every time I come out to my car, there's always dents and scratches all over the front of it. What the hell is going on? And then it occurred to me, maybe if I stopped hitting the neighborhood kids at 40, my car would be all right, you know? My car would be all right. But there's this underpass, all right, in Macon. And I'm driving through the underpass, and there's a lot of homeless, a lot of crackheads under this underpass. My sister looks at me, she goes, hey, don't touch the homeless people. I thought that was kind of funny. I'm like, don't touch the homeless people. That's like looking at an open flame and being like, don't put your tongue on that. So I'm like, obviously, right? And then I saw one of them. Yeah, all they really need is like a little bit of love and a shower. And I have both in my apartment, so like, I guess what I'm trying to say is if you know any free clinics nearby, let me know. All right, maybe not. Maybe that one too. But yeah, so like in Pittsburgh, there's neighborhoods that you know to stay out of. Macon is the entire neighborhood. Okay, you can catch a stray anywhere. Unfortunately, I needed gas one night, and I knew I was in a neighborhood I shouldn't have been in. I pull up to the gas station, or the gas pump, right before I even put my car in park. There's a lady walking up to me. I was trying to be proactive. I couldn't roll my window up, it goes down. I'm looking up. Before she can even finish her sentence, she goes, hey, how are you? I'm like, I don't have any money. She goes, I didn't ask you for no damn money. Touche. She goes, I asked you how you were doing. I'm like, oh, man, I'm doing all right. How about you? She goes, oh, sweetie, I'm doing real good, but I'd be doing a lot better if I had $3. I go, I don't have any money. Before I can even finish my sentence, she slides back. She goes, ooh, you a good-looking white boy, huh? You want some pussy? Look, flattery will get you everywhere, ladies. Okay? Mama didn't raise no bitch. But my dad did teach me that good pussy ain't cheap. So I slid out of the passenger side door, and I ran inside and paid for my gas. This guy behind the counter, I'm like, hey man, there's a lady out in the gas station parking lot selling some pussy for $3. He goes, oh, not the game. He runs from behind the counter barefoot. You know what he goes outside, he goes, you get your face out of my store. She was a frequent flyer. She was there all the time. I pay for my gas, I steal a lighter, I walk outside. I'm going to head to my car, there's a guy coming up from the other pump. He goes, hey man, you got $3? I'm like, hey brother, here's a $5. Get some head on me, dog. Goodness. Well, that went okay. I'm doing everything out of order. In that same neighborhood, I woke up one morning and I seen some black ladies out in the parking lot setting what I guess was like their ex's stuff on fire. And they're blasting rap music. Oh, dude, I thought it was a seance. I'm so white. I was like, holy shit, this is getting real out here in Pittsburgh. And like, I don't know why fucking people think that white people are afraid of black people, or think I'm afraid of black. I'm not afraid of black people. I'm afraid that your dick's accidentally gonna fall out and I'm never gonna see my girlfriend again. I say people because it doesn't discriminate. Okay, whether you bought it or grew it, it's still bigger than mine. And she swings both ways, so I'm still twice as terrified. Alright, that one didn't land as well. We're gonna keep going. I don't want to get political, but I was really excited whenever Donald Trump was running again. Mostly for the aliens. It was all about aliens, dude. We kind of just passed over that. I thought that was kind of bullshit. They're like, they're gonna release the documents. And I was like, I don't read. Somebody make a fucking clip about it on TikTok. And I was excited. I never got any of this information. I wanted them to be up there, dude, debating fucking, we know the aliens are here. We know they're coming. They're coming to America. He's like, I have an idea. The Democrats are gonna lie. They're gonna lie all about it, okay? We're gonna put a dome over the USA, a dome. And all the rednecks are gonna be like, hell yeah, Donnie T. He put a dome over the USA. And aliens are coming to push the homo agenda. Or whatever the far left is doing. Alright, well, we'll quit with the Trump. Oh man, I grew up pretty white trash. Alright, if you don't know what that is, fucking look around. I'm sure you can figure it out. There was a lot of signs, like I had no idea, like my house didn't have drywall in it the fucking whole time that we lived there. If you ever wonder what kind of toys or shit we had, you just drove past the front yard and it was all right there. There's 6 vehicles in the front yard too. They're like, hey, which one do you use? One with the weed whacker ringing around it. Man, I remember growing up, man, as a kid, bro, you go up, you walk into a dark house with no drywall, and they're like, turn the light on, and you stick your hand inside of an open box of fucking pissed all over myself. We didn't have carpet, it's fine, right? Oh my goodness. Most white families had dishwashers, like in their kitchens. We had a dog named Coco strapped to the edge by a chain. That's a real story. He's named after my dad's favorite weekend pastime. I was an overweight kid. I liked a lot of snacks. My dad put the fucking dog in the corner of the kitchen. I'd walk in the middle of the night, fucking, my fat ass would just be running back. Good times, good times. It was the early 2000s. My dad had a mullet, which is like, to nowadays is cool, but back then was pretty fucking crazy. It was like he was stuck in his little achy breaky heart for most of his life. It was so wild, like, when you look at my dad, you didn't think he could get any more white trash. And then he cut his mullet, but he braided it first into a rat tail, dude. So my dad's got a rat tail, a wife beater. Let me get my. But my dad, he had a rat tail and a wife beater, and like every time you saw him walk in and out of a place, it always looked like he had an album cover. That was about to be like straight out of Trailer Park. Guess not. All right, that one is much more. Here's a random thought. Actually, here's a random thought. Do you guys know what a push present is?
Yeah.
Push present, you do. Okay, would you educate the class?
So if you have a lady who's giving birth, you get her a push present, which is like a present for her having to push a baby out of her vagina.
Right. A gift for being pregnant. What the fuck is that, guys? If you ask me, I gave you the gift the night I nutted inside you. That is your gift, okay? And if you keep bothering me about it, I'm gonna go get milk and my gift is gonna be freedom. Dang, that one didn't work as much. Well, we're gonna keep going and we're gonna see how actually we'll cut that off. Actually, no, that's a good idea. No, we'll cut that one off. We'll cut that one off. Yeah, that's a good idea. By the reactions, we'll end that one. Okay. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I peaked in high school. It was a good time. It was a good time, guys. It was a great time. Everyone got really cool nicknames in high school. Like, I could dance really good, so everyone just called me gay. Like, hey, queer's back. I'm like, say it again. What you mean? It was a good time. It was a good time. Like, I broke a Pennsylvania State football record in high school. thank you. Yeah, awesome. Most pants shit in a single season. After 10, I was like, no one's gonna fucking beat that record. So I quit and became the mascot. Because I saw this cool Disney movie where this guy got a bunch of girls, and I was like, that's gonna be me. Didn't happen, all right? Went on a couple dates, all right, and my mom stopped me. She goes, hey, are they all gonna be weird and ugly? I'm like, Mom, these are the hottest chicks in the marching band. What the fuck are you talking about? She goes, just once, can't you bring home a cheerleader? I'm like, bring home Mom, I'm the mascot. I am the cheerleader. Dang, guess not. Jesus. Oh my goodness. Where do I go from there? But yeah, I was bullied as a kid. More so as a kid, like, I was bullied a lot, but a lot as a kid. Like, I had big ears. Someone was like, hey, Dumbo, hey, big ears, hey, satellite. Finally, I stuck up for myself. I'm like, Dad, can you please chill out? I can fight it in a lot, though. I'm like, Dad, like, I'm getting picked on. Like, why do I have big ears? He's like, because I have big ears. It's just about you. It's about me. He's like, all right. He goes, I have big ears because your friends' moms are holding on to them every weekend. Fucking. I was 7. I didn't get the joke. But I'm an adult now, and my ears have grown. Let me tell you what. Oh, goodness. I was called a bad influence a lot as a kid. I thought that was kind of bullshit. I was a pretty nervous kid. I wanted to follow the rules. I kind of carried that like into the military too. Like everybody was having so much fun, and I was such a bitch, dude. I was such a bitch. Like I think it all started like when I was younger. Like all my friends wanted to like go smoke weed under the bridge, and I was like, drugs are bad. Let's just draw dicks with spray paint. I thought that was like a better alternative. We were 12, dude. We were 12. Like when you're 12 years old in this like little ass white trash town that we had, you're looking for like 3 things. You're looking for like lighters, pocket knives, trailer park girls that were DTF. My dick couldn't even fit in a condom. Okay, DTF went down to get fingered. Yeah, childhood was fun. I was a bad influence, but I guess, I ended up alright. Yeah. I keep losing my place. I'm doing it all out of order. So I'm trying to like remember where I'm at. Oh, goodness. High school was great. Okay, high school was so much fun. When I was 18, we were like, hey, let's go to the nicest place in town. We went to our local strip club where everybody's aunts and sisters thrive. Okay. We walked in, I was excited, all right? I knew I was going to be there, my friends were going to be there, the strippers were going to be there. What I didn't know is my fucking grandma was going to be there.
Oh.
This is a true story. I swear to God, I walked in and my grandma was like, what are you doing here? And I was trying to be a smart ass. And I was like, same thing you are, Grandma. Trying to see some titties. She's like, you want to see some titties? Wham!
Oh.
I didn't look, but I heard them hit the ground. That's a true story. My mom and dad were there, all my aunts and uncles. I walked in, and they were like surprised, and I was like, my dick has never been softer. Like this was the exact opposite I want to do, but it's okay. It's cool. My grandma's really cool. We'll get into her eventually. Yeah. Yeah, she's a dude. She's something else. She's the best.
Please don't.
You'll see here in a second, actually. I get nostalgic. You know what I mean? Like like you smell a candle, you think about like grandma's house. You smell fresh cut grass, you think about like your childhood. I get that same effect, except when I see my ex-wife, I smell Five Guys.
Oh.
It's the same reason I hate trains. It was a military wedding, guys. It's a fucking true story. I've been in therapy for years trying to forget that. Yeah, don't worry, I didn't kill myself or anybody else. I was honorably discharged. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Hey, we got some time here. Let's unpack that, okay? Let's unpack that. So how about all the signs were there that she was banging my best friend, but I was really into alcohol at the time, way more than my ex-wife. And so when I'm drinking, I'm like, they're really good buds, huh? Then I saw them kiss on the patio one time, And I walked out to punch him, and he convinced me that he didn't just kiss my wife. I was like, you're probably right. I probably didn't see that. Yeah, my bad, dude. You're right. He's like, you're drunk. You should just go home. Go to bed. I'm like, yeah, you're right, dude. Yeah. Hey, she's going to stay out, though. She's going to have a good time. I was like, yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah. What the fuck was I on, dude? How good was the Bacardi that I was drinking? That I was like, you guys are doing great. I'm so glad you're so close. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me, dude? I woke up the next morning. I opened up her phone. There's a video of all my friends in the shower. Before I can finish it, she snatches the phone, deletes it. She goes, they were just messing around. My friends are pretty gay. I was like, yeah, they're probably just messing around. I've done that before, right? I mean, who hasn't jumped in the shower with all his buds with their wife? Okay. Anyhow, yeah, it was a good time, guys. Yeah, great times. Yeah, went to therapy. What can I tell you about this? Actually, went to therapy, and I hate therapy. I was really afraid of a therapist because every time I've been to a therapist, they've always tried to ask me about my childhood and then tell me that it was like my parents' fault. I already know that. I don't need you to tell me that I'm traumatized from my parents. I want you to fix it or give me drugs so I can do it myself. And so I'm in this therapy section, and I'm with this guy, and he's like, hey man, what's going on? And when I found out what had happened later on, when I found out what had happened, I was pretty sure I was going to stab this one kid in the neck. I've never had a homicidal thought in my life. I was really in a low point. I called my mom, which I don't talk to, and I called my mom. She answers the phone immediately hysterical. She said, what's wrong? Again, we don't talk. She knew something was up. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to kill Andrew. She was like, why? I'm like, Mom, JC fucked them all. I mean, she fucked everybody. She goes, oh, I knew you should have married that whore. She goes, is there anywhere you can go? Is there anything you can do? I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the therapist. I go in there, and I tell him the story. I tell him what happened. And he's like, fuck that bitch. And I was like, yeah, let's be friends, dude. And then I made a mistake of telling him how much alcohol I drank, and then I got put in AA. So don't trust your fucking therapist, guys. Anyhow, what am I at? Time-wise? Good? Whenever you guys are ready?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay, cool. I have like a couple more rounds. Just get out of them. So we unpacked that trauma. That was fun. Good times. What can I... Sorry, guys. I don't mean to have like a brain fart. It's just nice having like so much time up here to just like say what I want to say. My grandma, dude. My grandma is the apple to my eye. She is just the sweetest lady in the world. And recently she not recently, but she got diagnosed with dementia. And like that shit sucks. But at first it was a lot of fun. We would just like hide shit from her. And like move the chair when she wasn't looking, and she'd fall, and we'd be like, but now it's getting kind of bad, and she's kind of forgetting a lot. And on this past Thanksgiving, we got done with dinner, and we're all sitting around talking. She comes up behind me, she starts rubbing my chest. I'm like, oh hey Nana. She started rubbing down my chest, and I'm like, hey Nana, what's up? She's like, hey Louie, let's sneak upstairs and fool around like we used to. My grandpa's name is Hector, guys. Who the fuck is Louie? My whole life, everyone has told me that I look like my grandpa's best friend, and I haven't been able to tell my mom. Too much was unpacked at Thanksgiving that year. Dude, too much. And I'm gonna be honest, like, we were gonna put her in her home, but I don't know if you've ever had toothless head before. It's worth every single caregiver check. All right, my name's Toby Taylor. Thank you so much for having me.
Hell yeah. Y'all give it up again for Toby. One of my comedian friends was like, hey man, put Toby on, he's funny, okay? And I didn't check anything. Then Toby was like, hey, can I be dirty? And I was like, you be dirty, you know? And so he was pretty dirty. I haven't heard many comedians actually push the limit with this crowd, even though y'all are probably the core people that would probably dig all what he said, and I relate with that. I think you should all be free to enjoy yourselves going home this evening without any bad things happening to you. I decree it so. Everybody have a good time. We'll see y'all next week.
So who won? Yeah,
I don't know if it was that one or not.
Oh, Nathan won.
Oh, yeah, you did. You won. By proxy.
Okay, so like
Good job.
when I do a set, I'll put all my sticky notes, and not if I branch off, I have different sets. And then that's all right now.
Well, I love his art. Like I was like arranging it in a way I can see it as how they things together. Sorry, Woody.
Oh, no.
Not sorry.
Yeah, put the puzzle together.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed when it was out there.
This one, like, needs to be with this. You were gonna do like a.
I mean, I did on spin. I'm so
The
only reason I wanted to just kind of is because he's worked really hard at creating space for comedy, you know.
thing like this would be really cool in here.
Pick up into that he's working on.
You know what I mean? Like,
Like, it depends on the scene. This place is always
but good to meet. Woody,
Yes,
like, he'll do it. Woody will do it.
Do what?
Pay the money for that, or we do like have you just do
Oh,
it?
yeah, I'll take whatever, which one.
I love his art. I'm like arranging it because I'm looking at it and I'm like seeing what I like. Yeah, together that's amazing. See, I'm like, Woody, you show these like this. I love this one and this one, the doors, but I love that this is Augusta. Yeah, and this is like a city, but this is the waterfalls, and I'm always like kayaking. Huh? Well, this is the dam, but there's a little waterfall when we go on kayaking. We kayak all the time.
I like this song. You know who it is? Rain Wow! Sorry.
Was that a joke again?
Well, I mean, I know who it is. I was trying to act like somebody that didn't know who it is.
We have all kinds of great nights together, like
It
here,
really
we
was.
do singer-songwriters. That'll be this one.
There's so many jokes I want to make, and I also
It's all original music.
It's kind of sore.
Great, it's like 6 artists at 2 round table. Woody, are you, no, I don't know who's on this songwriter series. He's playing this weekend.
Oh, ours, yeah. Oh,
No,
Sunday.
you're playing this
Oh, we're playing here
weekend
Friday,
here,
yeah, Friday.
Where do you work? I have a lot of nurse friends. So 7 to 7. Yeah. with